On this episode of the Off Limits podcast,
What is around forever is the land. Lord, you know how to grow food on your property, and you don't need to go to Walmart to get broccoli and certain things. You got it in your backyard because you know
You
how to.
got the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you drop seeds in the ground and you grow it and you're patient and you nurture it and you till it and sow it and so people have to understand, like, what if we can't depend on Walmart or Publix or Kroger to eat, and you got like myself, you got 8 kids and they're hungry. You say, well, daddy don't have no money to go grocery store.
It-
Daddy don't. Oh,
I'm
go ahead,
sorry.
Jalen.
So, Ron, I have a question. One of my questions is, since you're talking about the land, is how difficult or not difficult it is to go over there and probably occur land, get gain land, and how long does that process take? How does that look for us coming from over here, and we want to get over there and probably get land or look into doing something like that? How does that look for us?
Well, there's a lot of land in Africa, more than is being used. And when you go there, you just have to talk to the people and see, who, what land they own, because every family, every chief, every elder, every king owns their own land, and you have to gain favor with the people you're talking to, so that they can disclose this thing to you. You can't just go to a stranger at the market and say, "Hey, can you got land that I can buy?" They're gonna look at you like, "Huh? Like who are you? Like, how are you gonna come to me like, can I buy your land?" You know,
Hmm.
you have to, like, talk to people, gain friends, and then start to look at the areas where the farmland or the land that you want to buy is suitable for you to do what you want to do in terms of farming or building a house. uh, Anybody can easily go into any African city and say, I want to rent a house or buy a house. That's easy. Just contact a realtor. But in some cases, you can ask a realtor, uh, where can I buy land, like rural land, and they can try to help you. But the different countries in Africa may have different ways to getting the land. Some of them might sell the land. Some of them might say, well, we don't sell land, uh, and that's like a Israelite thing. We'll lease the land to you, or we'll gift the land to you, but we cannot, as the, say, like the Ashantis or the Fantis, we can't just say, here, take our land, because
Right.
if they possess the land and God brought them to that land, and the Ashantis possess the land, they're just like the Israelites. The Israelites, when they're in the land, they can't, the Edomites can't come to the land and say, hey, can we buy your land? Can we buy the land, a portion of the tribe of Judah's land? Can we do that? Oh, sure. How much you got? The Israelites could not do that. They were forbidden to do that. So the same thing kind of like portrays itself in certain countries in Africa. So, but the land is it's a lot of land. You talking about, um, hectares of land. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and a hectare is 2.5 acres. So if a guy says, I have 10 hectares of land to sell, then you got to multiply that by 2.5, and that's how much land he's trying to give to you. And you can look at the land. He could take you around the land. He could show you the boundaries, and then you can look at it and say, okay, and then do your research to make sure that he actually owns the land. He actually has the deed or the title to the land, and it's in his name, and it's not, um, a document that's not legit. Like, he forged a document saying that it's his land when it's
Hmm.
really his daddy's land or his grandfather's land, and his grandfather and daddy don't know
Right.
nothing about what he's trying to do. Uh, so you gotta be really careful in who you're going to buy the land from, and then do your investigation, uh, to find out, is this land exactly whose this guy says it belongs to. Because
Right.
once you give him your money,
Yeah.
he can
Right.
get on a plane and take a trip to the United Kingdom, and you come back to the land and say, 6 months or 3 months, and you get on the land, and you say, and you have your piece of paper, you say, hey, it's my land, I'm about to build my house, and the locals are like, who sold you this land? This ain't your land. This is our land. you know, and then you say you show him paper and it shows the guy name on here and his last name and his signature and the receipt of payment and looks legit, but then they look at you like no, and they're ready to call their sons and call their uncles. And next minute you got people
No.
machetes, people calling the
Wow.
police.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
You know,
It get real.
yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of goes back to scripture in a way. And when you read about Abraham and how it's crazy when you look at how important it is for the lineage from the father to continue, and the inheritance has to be passed down from generation to generation, from son to son to son. So you can say essentially, our Yah is like our father, and we lost that link. So he gave everyone their inheritance, but we broke the promise. We broke his word, and so we lost the inheritance for a while. And so now down the line, we lost access to the land. So when you think about what you're saying is that you go to Africa, and when Abraham he was traversing and being sent out as a nomad, and he's going through and through, he would be in certain places where they would show him favor, and he is allowed to stay. You see what I'm saying? So now, what you're saying is like you go to Africa, it's kind of like the same thing.